What's up, y'all? This is 10X Generation. This is my road to $1 billion. So I'm just going to give you an update of what's going on and what's going to happen. So I have an application on the Google Play Store named Neon Controller, and it allows you to play PC games on your phone by streaming your PC to your phone, and you can create an controller overlay atop that, and then when you press space or whatever, it sends those back to your computer, allowing for remote gaming. This application has almost 400,000 downloads right now. But for whatever reason, maybe the economy is slow, I don't know what's going on. But sales, that passive income source, has kind of dried up a little bit. So before I move on to another major project, Neon Arcade, I want to get this thing under wraps. I want to get the revenue back to where it needs to be. And I've been looking at it for a couple of weeks now, right? At what I can do, making updates, talking with customers. And I found that there's a particular version that had like looking through all the data, a particular version had a ridiculous amount of average revenue per user. Ridiculous. It was about like $6 per user of me making like money from that person, right? So I looked at that, and it's quite different from my most recent version. So what I decided to do is switch it over. So change over the monetization scheme, change over the payment page, change over how I tell them to buy stuff. And the most notable thing is that instead of using an in-app purchase, which is a one-time purchase, you click the button, you pay the money, you get the features forever, it had a subscription-based thing where you click the button, you pay the money, you get access to the features, but the next month you got to pay the money again to retain access. And it had a 7-day free trial. So I decided to switch over to that. And just to accelerate the results, I decided to go crazy with ads. And when I did that, it seemed extremely promising. I was getting about 10 subscriptions per day. And I did the projections and everything. It was something that really, like, wow, this was it. This was the silver bullet. I figured it out. But after the free trial ended and the actual subscription starts, I ran into a problem, which in one of my videos I spoke about maybe a problem. A lot of those purchases are in this weird state, like they're in limbo. And so the money never actually comes out their account, but the subscription isn't deactivated. It just says payment pending. And for over 95% of those subscriptions are in that state. Only a couple went through. And this is like, oh man, this is like, I even factored that in, but the number of people who are, I think, abusing the system, or maybe just has a card that they just use to get free trials or whatever, the number of people was just so much more than I thought that, it is actually disappointing. So, I've just kind of been like, man, darn, I thought this was it. But I woke up today and I had an amazing idea. And when I'm running the ads, don't have the conversion action as clicking the subscription and starting the free trial, but have the conversion action completing the free trial and moving on to the actual thing. Duh, right? So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to shorten the length from 7 to 3 days because that 7-day waiting period was agony for me. I felt completely paralyzed because it felt like I was at just right before a major event, right? And it was just like excitement. I was paralyzed. Let's just say that. So I got to shorten up that period, and the minimum period I can have is 3 days. So I'm switching up that, and I'm gonna go ahead and set up the ads for that conversion action. And yeah, that's really it. But I think in this time I've learned quite a few things from Google Ads. Quite a few things. So the first thing I learned is that you should never really pause ads, because when you pause them or stop them, it ruins it for some reason. So if you don't think you want to do an ad campaign for any longer, you should put the budget really low. Don't pause it. Just put the budget really low That's the main thing. Second thing, when you're starting out with your ad campaigns, you should make it super duper broad. Like, I want to get as many installs as possible. And once you get a certain number of the conversion that you want, then you slowly tighten your focus. Don't start with a very tight focus. Don't do that, because then it just doesn't work that well. And it's also discouraging for the person, because it's like, wow, nothing's working for 5 days. But if you start wide and then you go smaller, that works out very well. That works out very well. And also with so you should start with, if you have an app, start with installs, right? And then move on to installs with users likely to do a particular action. Then do target for in-app actions with a very high budget, or the amounts you want to pay per action, and then slowly go down based on the algorithm actually refining that value. And you kind of just do that. And it takes longer and it takes a lot more attention, but it actually works, instead of just throwing money into the void, which I've been doing my entire I'm not gonna say this entire time, but historically that's what I've done. So I have, I'm not like, I'm excited to see what happens, but I won't be surprised if it doesn't work, because nothing so far has worked. Nothing, and I'm used to the failure. I'm used to just getting excited and nothing happening, or getting excited and realizing you missed something critical and getting back disappointed again. But that's part of the game. That's part of the game. That's something that kind of keeps me going, is the fact that failure is a major part of business. Failure is a major part of invention. Failure is a major part of success. If you just get success back to back to back to back, I don't know what you're playing, but you're not playing the game of life. You're not playing the game of business. You're not playing the game of, you're playing some other game. I don't know what game you get successes all the time like this in a row. I don't know. But if you look at the stories of the great businessmen, great businesswomen, inventors and all this stuff, failure is riddled. It's in it. Most of it's failure. So as you fail, you can kind of look at that as just like, wow, I'm really earning my stripes. Wow, I'm actually playing the game properly. And this is, just part of the game. And it really helps you keep going. Realizing that failure, like the expectation that things are supposed to go your way all the time, will keep you from actually doing it correctly, because you're supposed to fail. You're supposed to make mistakes and learn from them and keep going. So understanding that that's actually the reality, how it's supposed to be, nothing is wrong if you're failing, it's one thing that really keeps me going. So yeah, that's really it. I just woke up, so maybe this video wasn't as good as the other ones. But thank you all so much for watching. This is 10X Generation, and I'll see you guys next time with the results of this new campaign. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.